everybody, welcome back to K-Prep. I'm really glad you're here this month. We are going to continue talking about early literacy this month. Specifically, we're going to talk about rhyming, vocabulary, and then we're just going to talk about a few ideas that can make reading fun for your child. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is rhyming. Now, rhyming is a very important pre-literacy skill. I mean, we really don't think about it as that, but it really is. It helps your child understand about word families like cat, bat, rat, sat, fat, those sort of things, which is something they'll be doing next year in school when they learn to read. Can you believe they're going to read next year? Crazy, right? But that's really important. It teaches them the rhythm of language, okay? It teaches them how language works and gives them some pretty good auditory discrimination. So they're really important. So just a few ideas how you can even work rhyming into fun, because, you know, I'm all about fun. Let's have some fun. Tell your child, name an animal that rhymes with dig. Okay. Name a color that rhymes with mean. Maybe have your child fill in the blanks. The big yellow duck drives a red what? Truck. Make a rhyming chain. I say a word, and then you say a word that rhymes with it, okay? And continue that chain until you can't think of any more words. You may make up some words. That would be kind of fun. Okay. So let's shift gears for a second. Have you ever read something in a book that you didn't quite know what it meant? I know I have. I'm a big reader, and I often find myself grabbing my phone and Googling, what does a word mean? Because I have no idea. And without knowing what that word means, you might can figure it out in context. But it sure helps a lot to know exactly what it means when you're trying to figure out what something is saying. So your child has the same issues, okay? Studies show that when a child is 3.5 years old, they are ready, their brain is ready to hear not just common words, but a little bit more difficult words. Example, I am going to not just buy a book, but I am going to purchase a book, okay? I'm going to purchase a book. I am not tired, I am weary, okay? So teach them words that are a little harder. Their brains are ready. They can take it. They're like sponges, okay? So they're ready for that. When you're introducing a new word, give them a kid-friendly explanation. Think about, how would you tell your child what the word enormous means? Really, really big, right? And then use that word, not just in reading, but use it. That's an enormous tree. Before long, that word is added to their vocabulary, okay? So, vocabulary. I want to show you this book that I found. I love this book. Jamie Lee Curtis and a lady named Laura Cornell wrote this book. It's called Big Words. And I'm not going to read the whole book, but I want to point out a few pages. And I want you to pay attention how they describe or introduce a new word. This word is persevere. Persevere is to try and to try, even though you might want to give up and cry. When doing a puzzle that puzzles your mind, you persevere till the right piece you find. And it's got really great artwork. And let's do another one. Inconsiderate. Inconsiderate is the word Dad would pick if you woke up Mom when she's feeling sick. Pretty good way to describe that word, wouldn't you say? And how about this one. Many things are too old for you that lots of your friends may still get to do. Inappropriate is the word our mom picks if you want to watch PG-13 when you're 6. So you get the idea, okay? That's a good way to describe new words to them. But this is an awesome book, and I would definitely recommend it. Okay, what's another way to build a vocabulary? Talk, talk, talk to your child. Don't stop talking. And I'm not talking about just saying no, sit down, go to sleep, eat your dinner. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about conversation. I've had parents tell me that they don't know how to do that. And that's really sad, but ask them about things they like, what they dislike. Engage them. Don't just ask questions that the answer is yes or no. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Ask questions about what they see, what they hear, what they're touching. What does that taste like when they're eating food? What does that taste like? Good vocabulary. Another way is nursery rhymes. This seems to be something that is not done very much anymore. Get a nursery rhyme book. And these are awesome because it not only has rhyming words, but it has very uncommon words. I mean, when's the last time you read a nursery rhyme? It might have been a long time. I'm trying to find one with an uncommon word. Well, I can't find one really fast, but, oh, here's one. I just saw it. This is the father, short and stout. Short and stout. Stout's one of those words that we probably don't use very often. So nursery rhymes, okay? Nursery rhymes. Storytelling. Storytelling is a fabulous way, okay? Make up stories. I used to tell pretty princess stories, okay? Lots of fun. There's no right or wrong to it. You just start a story and let the next person take up and add something to it. And then you can flip it back to yourself and go back and forth. And you have this marvelous story in the end. It's wonderful. Fun way to do that. Just remember, your child's vocabulary is built through experience. Okay? The more that they experience, the more words they're going to run into and the more words they're going to use. All right. Okay, so we've talked about rhyming. We've talked about vocabulary. Let's talk a minute about just some practical things that can make reading fun for your child, okay? First, let's make books a part of every day. You don't have to read the whole thing. That doesn't even matter, but make it a part of every day, all right? Set them in your lap, read to them. Have fun. This is my favorite thing to do when reading a book, is puppets. Because puppets are fun. And I have seen many times when parents, teachers have lost the kids. They're off. You know, we know that they have an attention span that's about this long. Well, about the time they are gone, you have a puppet appear, and they are glued. They often want to talk to it, act like the puppet's talking to you. What? Oh, you want to talk to the boys and girls? Yes. You want them to listen to the story? Yes. Use puppets. Puppets are fun. And a little puppet is going to be in the bag that you get this month too. So, puppets. Excellent, excellent. Ask questions while you're reading about the story. That's good for their comprehension. Stop on every page if you have to. Ask them to think about what they think is going to happen next. Prediction. Okay? Point out words in their environment when you're walking or when you're driving down the road. You know, stop signs and the street signs, different things that has names on it, businesses, and point that those are words and talk about what those words say. This is one of my favorite. When you have a book using fun little pointers. I love this guy. I don't know if you can see him very well, but he's just adorable. I love him. So a pointer when you're reading. This is the mother with children all about. Okay, so pointers. I also have a big heart pointer. We made pointers a couple years ago. We just took a dowel stick and whatever your child's into, like we've glued little cars on there or whatever shape that you like, and it helps them, and they pay attention a little bit better. Okay. When the story has sound effects, make the sound effects. That's a lot of fun. Okay, make different voices. Okay, everybody likes the different voices. It gets them engaged. Yes, gets them engaged. Make sure that you show your child the title and the cover page. This is something that if you do that at home, when they go to school next year in kindergarten and the teacher's introducing the author, the illustrator, the title page, the cover, this won't be new to your child. Your child's going to be like, yeah, my mom's been doing that this whole time. I know all about that. So that's pretty cool. Talk about the pictures. Okay, talk about the pictures. Let your child turn the page, and it's okay if they turn 2 or 3 different pages at once. And for babies, the board books are awesome. Let them turn them. Of course, babies are going to want to chew on the pages, and that's okay too. That's okay. Teach them to respect the books, of course. Make it personal. Talk about your own life, okay? Talk about members of your family, your dog, your cat. Intertwine them in the story, okay? Let your child tell you the story. I often did this when I was really tired. I'm like, please just tell me the story. So that works too. Put a few books in a bag. Keep them in your car. Something maybe a little different. You know, I know we all rely on our phones these days, and the children want to play games on them, but it never hurts to have a good old-fashioned book in your car and let them read it, okay? Remember, the whole purpose for this class is to help your child get ready for kindergarten and help them to play with purpose, okay? We're going to make reading fun. We're going to play vocabulary games. We're going to play rhyming games. We're going to have fun. And this month, the book featured in the bag that some of you have been asking for every month, and I am so glad, that makes me so happy, is you're going to get a little puppet, okay? And the reason I have a giraffe puppet, he says hello, is because the name of our book today, and this will be in the bag, is Giraffes Can't Dance, okay? This is our cover page, and the author is Giles Andrea and Guy Parker Rees. Excuse me. This is our title page, Giraffes Can't Dance. Let's get started. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked. Look, his knees were crooked, and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off of trees. The shoots. But when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. And he fell down. Poor Gerald. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. This year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad. because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. Poor Gerald. The warthogs started waltzing. That's kind of dance. And the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. Look at them all dancing. The chimps all did a cha-cha-cha with the very Latin feel. And 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Looks like they're having fun. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor. But the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. They were laughing at him. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald," the animals all sneered. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird." Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." So he crept off the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. Poor Gerald. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on, "but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song." Oh, wow. "Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music are those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to." With that, Cricket smiled, and he picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground, and his neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing round. Ooh, look at Gerald. Threw his arms out sideways, and he swung them everywhere, and he did a backward somersault, and he leapt up in the air. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. "I am dancing! Yes, I'm dancing! I'm dancing!" Gerald cried. Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream! Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen!" "How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. And then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and the stars above. "We can all dance," he said, "when we find the music that we love." And that is the end of Gerald. Can giraffes dance? Sure they can. Gerald did. Gerald did. He had fun dancing. So that's all I've got for today, folks. And I will see you again next month. And I appreciate you tuning in. And go have fun reading and vocabulary rhyming with your kids, okay? See you later. Bye-bye.